With information to give them a call. Well, it's been almost a week since a mudslide in Provo caused some major damage to a church building. All of that debris came from the Buckley Draw burn scar during a heavy rainstorm. A little to the north, a house was also impacted, but officials, they aren't sure where the water came from. Stephanie and Travis Hansen, they have been cleaning up their basement after the storm sent several feet of water, mud, and debris crashing in. Provo Public Works says another house was also damaged, and they're trying to determine why all that water came rushing down.
There may have been neighbors upstream that did some landscaping or changed some things. We just don't know.
Well, the Hansons say the damage isn't covered by insurance, leaving them to foot the repair bill. Well, reservoir levels have been taking...
A big settlement between the state of Utah and the owners of Pornhub. Why it's happening and what officials hope will be the result.
A pony club's parents left him. New at 5, a settlement has been reached here between the state of Utah and the owner of the adult website Pornhub. State officials are touting the agreement, saying it will help protect children and force change. News specialist Daniel Woodruff is live at the Capitol with the very latest. Daniel?
Debbie and Mike, the owner of Pornhub, will pay the state of Utah $5 million as a penalty to settle a complaint against it. The state of Utah had accused the owner of Pornhub, which is a company called ALO, of distributing tens of thousands of images of child sexual abuse material, as well as pornographic images and videos involving people who didn't consent to being in them. Well, today, Utah officials and the Federal Trade Commission filed a complaint against ALO in U.S. District Court. But at the same time, they also announced a settlement with the company. ALO now has to pay $5 million as part of that settlement to the state of Utah, with an additional $10 million in penalties if they fail to meet the requirements of the settlement.
The monetary penalty is just a small portion. What we really want to do is we're trying to force an industry to change, an industry that has been long overdue for change, because the ultimate goal is to protect kids.
Specifically, going forward, ALO has to verify now that people who appear in pornographic videos are consenting adults. The company also has to remove previously uploaded videos unless it can confirm that that's the case. I did reach out to ALO today. They released a statement confirming the settlement and noting that it's part of a years-long effort on their part to make their website safer. The company also told me that these allegations against them date back to 2020 and earlier. Now, the company did note at the very end of that statement that it has a zero-tolerance policy for illegal content. You can read more of what they had to say on our website, KSL-TV.com. At the Capitol, Daniel Woodruff, live at 5.
All right, Daniel, thank you. Just south of the Utah-Arizona border. From criminals. Also a big win for Utah in its fight to stop the spread of abuse material. How it will protect children and force an industry to change. Coming up next.
In Utah County.
The owners of adult video website Pornhub will pay the state of Utah a penalty of $5 million. This comes as part of a new settlement here announced today that officials say will protect children and force change in an industry that needs it. News specialist Daniel Woodruff now explains.
Utah stands ready to protect our children from exploitation wherever that exploitation takes place.
Utah Attorney General Derek Brown touting a settlement between the state and ALO, which owns adult websites like Pornhub. The state, along with the Federal Trade Commission, filed a complaint in court, accusing ALO of distributing tens of thousands of images of child sexual abuse material since 2012, as well as pornographic images involving people who didn't consent to being in them.
The children and non-consenting adults included in the content that the ALO companies distributed were violated and injured in the most horrific of ways.
This company seems to relish spreading this kind of content for its own sake.
Now ALO will pay a penalty to the state of $5 million. Going forward, the company also has to verify that people who appear in pornographic videos are consenting adults and remove previously uploaded videos unless it can confirm that's the case.
We hope that other companies in this industry will take note.
In a statement, ALO says the settlement is part of a years-long effort to make its sites safer. Importantly, the company added, this settlement resolves the matter with no admission of wrongdoing while reaffirming ALO's commitment to the highest standards of platform safety and compliance. ALO also noted the allegations against it date back to 2020 and earlier.
The reality is, if they are continuing to move in the right direction of protecting children, from my standpoint, that's a win.
Now, if this company, ALO, does not meet all the requirements of this settlement, it could be on the hook for an additional $10 million in penalties. Daniel Woodruff, KSL-5 News.
Thank you, Daniel. Survivors of sex trafficking rings Democratic hoax. The company that owns adult websites like Pornhub is set to pay the state of Utah $5 million in penalties.
Utah and the Federal Trade Commission originally filed a complaint in court accusing the company, ALO, of distributing child sexual abuse material and explicit images of non-consenting adults. The company now has to pay the fine and take down the content. It is a move Utah Attorney General Derek Brown says protects children.
The reality is, if they are continuing to move in the right direction of protecting children, from my standpoint, that's a win.
In a statement, ALO says the settlement is part of a years-long effort to make its site safer. The company added the settlement resolves the matter with no admission of wrongdoing while reaffirming ALO's commitment to the highest standards of platform safety and compliance.
OpenAI says parents will soon